In this section, we're going to discuss proofreading, which is very important when writing a message. When you send out a message that has not been proofread and has mistakes, this will reflect on you. It will affect your credibility. It will also affect your business or the company that you work for. So once you get it into final form, you have to proofread it. And it also says don't proofread early because you may be wasting time on something you're going to end up cutting out. But when you get to the point proofread and you have everything that you're going to keep in the message, it's time to proofread. When you finish a first draft, and I think this is so important, to take a break, plan for a cooling off period. What you want to do is once you get it done, got it on paper, wait 24 hours, and then look at it again. So when you're writing a message, it's important to start early so that you're not rushed. I know this is, realistically, there are going to be times where you won't have the 24 hours, but if you can, take a cooling off period. When you're proofreading, you want to look at spelling, grammar, punctuation, names, numbers, format. Make sure that all of this is correct. What you can do is use the down arrow to reveal one line at a time or read from a printed copy. You want to look for typos, misspellings, words that get confused, such as to and then gets confused for than. Also look for any words that were missed or any inconsistencies in the writing. Now, if it's a complex document, here are some suggestions. Maybe print a copy and make sure it's double spaced and set it aside. Make sure you're giving yourself enough time to proofread. And I think this is where a lot of errors happen because a person runs out of time. Be prepared to find errors. There are going to be errors, so be prepared, be looking for those errors. Read the message at least twice. So first you want to read it, or one time you want to read it for the word meanings, and then you want to read it for grammar and mechanics. And you want to do this slowly and focus on each word. You can also get someone to proofread for you. You could even ask an English teacher to proofread your document. I also want to talk about the effectiveness when you're evaluating the effectiveness of your message. So we proofread, but now we're looking at it from a different angle. So this is what you want to do when you're looking at your message. Is it polished and clear enough to convince the reader you're worth listening to? Remember, if you have a lot of mistakes, the person's probably going to stop reading it or be focused on those mistakes instead of the message. How successful will this message be? Does it say what you want it to? If it doesn't, then you're going to have to go back and rewrite it or rewrite the parts that need some help or that need rephrasing. Will it achieve its purpose? How will you know whether it succeeds? How are you going to measure that? What are good indicators that your message worked? The best way to know if it worked is feedback. When I do surveys with students or ask them to give me feedback, I think that's the most helpful because that tells me what's working and what's not. And then encourage the receiver to respond to your message. Let me know if you have any questions. Please give me feedback. Use their feedback to modify future efforts and improve your communication techniques. So when you get that feedback, change what needs to be changed, especially in the future.